Thank you, sir. Now, I am pleased to invite our speakers for this session. First of all, I call upon Mr. Akram Ahmed, Chief Data Scientist, ZMQ Development, New Delhi, to join us on the stage. Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Chand Mohammed, Team Head, ZMQ Development, New Delhi, to join us on the stage. Thank you, sir. Two of the distinguished speakers of today's session have joined us online. Please welcome Dr. Mohammed Jabril, who has joined us online from Egypt. Sir, may you please wave your hand to show that you're connected with us? Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Adil Saleh, who has also joined us online from United Kingdom. Sir, may you please wave your hand? Yes. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Mohammed Nadeem to join us on stage. Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Faisal Anwar to also join us on the stage? Thank you, sir. Now, may I request Ariz Aftab to please present a bouquet to Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan. Thank you, Ariz. May I request Abhiya Hassan to please present a bouquet to Mr. Akram Ahmed. Thank you, Abhiya. May I request Danish Ilyas to please present a bouquet to Mr. Chand Mohammed. Thank you, Danish. May I request Ilma Khan to please present a bouquet to Dr. Mohammed Nadeem. Thank you, Ilma. May I request Ziaul Mustafa to please present a bouquet to Dr. Faisal Anwar. Thank you, Ziaul. Ladies and gentlemen, you would agree that students' exposure to the developments taking place in the industries is utmost important. Students' learning should go beyond academics, where they can develop insights, critical minds, and obtain practical knowledge, as well as the theoretical applications. Recent studies show there will be rapid change, more competition, and wider opportunities in the IT industry. Hence, it is important for us to be aware of the trends. This is indeed a great opportunity for us to be present here. Taking a step forward, may I now request Dr. Mohammed Nadeem to please deliver the welcome address and briefly introduce the dignitaries.
Thank you, Laiba. I welcome all the experts from the industry who are present today. Our chair, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan sir, our chairperson, Professor Asim Zafar, senior faculty members present here, Bukhari sir, Shahid sir, other faculty members, delegates, alumni, and participants present online and offline in this very, I would say, special and important session on industry talks. Two experts, Dr. Jibril from Microsoft Egypt and Dr. Adil from Gas Solution UK, have agreed to join us online, and Mr. Akram and Mr. Chand Mohammed from ZMQ Development New Delhi are physically present with us. So let me start by introducing our chair and speakers. Parvez sir is a very senior IT professional and has a relevant and in-depth experience of more than 25 years. He has a proven track record of excellence in handling numerous large-scale programs and deliveries at global scale, in India as well as overseas. His expertise is spread across global IT industry, technology management, professional consultancy services, research, innovation, and academics. He has designed and implemented advanced and specialized courses in cloud computing for MTech students at very prestigious universities, and also mentored faculty members also for instruction delivery in cloud computing domain. He is currently handling the role of director at Computer Center at AMU Aligarh. So thank you, Professor, for joining us today. Our first speaker is Dr. Muhammad H. Jibril, and he is an applied scientist at Microsoft and currently located at Cairo, Egypt. He is also worked as deep learning scientist with Guess Solution Limited at UK, machine learning engineer at URV Foundation, Spain, and assistant lecturer at Hadoda University, Yemen. He has received his PhD from Department of Computer Engineering and Mathematics, University Rovira Virgili, Spain. He has published more than 40 articles. He received Best Paper Award at 22nd as well as 24th International Conference on Catalan Association for Artificial Intelligence in 2019 and 2022 respectively. His research interests include machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, sentiment analysis, neural machine translation, and computer vision. So thank you, Dr. Jabril, for joining us. Our second expert for today is Dr. Adil S.A. Al-Raimi. As a highly proficient computer science professional, Dr. Adil possesses a comprehensive background in advanced and cutting-edge research in machine learning, particularly in deep learning and computer vision. He has earned PhD in intelligent robotics and computer vision from University of Rovira Virgili, Spain. He has a very good record of publication. Currently, he is working as a senior data scientist at Guess Solutions, UK. I welcome you, Dr. Adil, in this session. And we have two experts from ZMQ Development, Mr. Akram Ahmed and Mr. Chand Mohammed. The Department of Computer Science has a very long association with ZMQ. Actually, it has been one of the most constant recruiters of our department for the last 2 decades. When I was studying, then that year also ZMQ came, and you'll be happy to know that this year also ZMQ visited our campus and recruited our students. So thank you for that support from ZMQ all the time. So let me introduce formally Akram sir and Chand Mohammed sir. So Akram sir is a chief data scientist right now at ZMQ, and he has designed and developed multiple websites and portals for different national and international clients operating in different domains. He has more than 24 years of experience in development industry as well as academics. Before joining ZMQ, he has served at Jazan University as a lecturer in computer science department for 10 years from 2008 to 2018, where he taught various courses like cloud computing, mobile computing, and he has expertise in AI related applications, big data, machine learning, and he has applied the same for different domains. Chand Mohammed is the team lead at ZMQ, and he has MCA from our department. He has 18 plus years of experience in technical field, especially in the area of mobile applications development. He has developed multiple technology-led development projects like MIRA channel, mobile PCH platform, and many others. As the technology head in ZMQ, he is designing and developing technologies and tools for mobiles to help children, women, and underprivileged to improve their education, health, and social and behavioral change communications. As Laiba has already pointed out the importance of this session, so just on the concluding note, that is, so there are two different words. One is this academics and another one is industry. And sometimes there is a lack of communication between them, and so as the students, we do not know what are the real life challenges, how to behave in the industry, what should be our posture, what should be even our attitude when we pass out from the department and go into the industry. So these kind of talks helps us improve ourselves, get in touch with those who are already achieved a lot in the industry, and hopefully you will learn a lot from this session. So with that, I hand over to Laiba once again to facilitate this session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I am honored to invite the first speaker, Dr. Mohammad Jabril. He is an applied scientist at Microsoft located at Cairo, Egypt. Dr. Jabril, over to you.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'm pleased to be with you here as a speaker. It's my honor to participate in the conference. So let me start by sharing my screen to see my presentation.
Yes, Dr. Jibril, is there any problem at your end?
Uh,
Okay, so maybe there was some glitch and he'll be joining us soon. In the meantime, I request Dr. Adil to continue with the talk. Dr. Adil,
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
thank you.
First of all, I want to thank everybody to invite me to this conference. It's an honor to participate with you. Today, I want to present. Uh, okay, Mohammed, you're here.
okay, sorry for that. My laptop blocked me from sharing the screens, and I had to go to the settings.
Dr. Jibril, in the meantime, we are having the talk of Dr. Adil and you may continue after that, please.
Eh,
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
okay, that's fine. Okay, so today I want to present some MLOps tricks that we apply there and our company. As the presenter said, I work as a data scientist and uh, Gaze Solution Limited, and there we apply extensively deep learning, computer vision every single day. Uh, and now let me go with my entire screen. Share. You have my screen?
Yes, sir. It's visible, your screen.
Okay, good. So I want to share some MLOps tricks that we apply there. MLOps stands for machine learning operation, where you take care of not only developing the models as academia normally directed students, but you take care of all parts of the pipeline. So every machine learning project has a life cycle, which is sorry for that, defining a scope, defining a project. I'll try to put that in the context of our work. In our company, we do a survey for roads in UK. We help the councils to improve the quality of the roads. And let's say that one of the tasks that from time to time we are given is to find the defects. So we start from defining a project, and then having that project, we start to find what is, we start to define what are the data which is going to be used in that in the project. After that, there is the process of modeling, where you choose which is the best model, and then when you deploy it, and deploy is the process in which the model start to work, get start to deal with making decision on the real data. So here are the details of the process of the project of machine learning project life cycle. So how we work from day to day. We define a data and label it, and then define a model according to the that's fit to the data. And of course, you should we should take care of labeling the data in such way that that makes the modeling easy. And then you start to train a model, go with errors, and so on. Now, one of the days, we had a situation in which we were asked to detect potholes for the one of the councils here in UK. And well, okay, we labeled data. We had start of the art models, trained them, and then we noticed that the performance is bad. And now, whatever we did, change different models, the performance was not improving, and it was not improving at all, until we figured out after reviewing the data. And that's why it's important to start from the data. Is the labels were something like that. It was not exactly like that, but this is a demonstration of what I'm talking about. The labels were not consistent, which means that it's not there is no a well-defined way for the labelers to define what is a positive case, what's a negative case. And that's why the model was was confusing. What's the background, what's the foreground, or maybe it was maybe it doing well with detecting, but because of inconsistent of the labeling, we noticed that the performance measurements were very low, and we are misled. We were misled. We don't know if the model is not doing well, or 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 the data is not correct. So I was from starting from before trying. So here the advice is, before starting to train any model, any data scientist should start from the data. You should look to the data, explore it, and make sure that labeling is in the same way. Have a good definition of it, and I mean, have a good definition of the labeling process, and from there start label, and then after that go to the next model, next step, which is modeling the data, modeling the modeling step. Now, the process of in which you convert the labels from inconsistent to consistent, which is following a well-defined pattern, is called cleaning. So after cleaning the model, as you see here, it's clear that the labeling of the data is following a well-defined pattern, and from there, that led to improve the model, I mean, significantly. And actually, for such kind of problems, it seems that there are two ways to solve the problem. Either collect the data with the same quality of the labels, though, or clean it. So cleaning is making them consistent, or doubling the data will give you the same better results. I mean, without improving the quality. But of course, there you will lose the computation power, because you will need to process more data. And this curve here, it shows that with the cleaner data, you will have you will have the same performance of the double of the data. And uh, that was proved by Shannon's from information theory. But with the cost of processing data these days, it's I would recommend everybody to find the mislabeled data and clean it better than double it. And beside the cost, there is another issue, which is you will meet some cases in which it is hard to collect data. Some classes are rare, so it's better to clean your data rather than double the data. Now I will go to the next point. Now suppose that you cleaned your data, okay, train the model. Now you will need to test the error analysis. You need to do the error analysis. So if if the model is underfitting, of course you are going to make more parameters, or if it's overfitting, you need to add more data. You will by the step of error analysis, you are going to define what you are going to do next step. Now let's go to this. As I explained here, that was the reason of making analysis. Now there are, after looking to the results of the error analysis, there are different directions, and these directions are one of are extensively applied in the in the industry. First one is improving the model. Well, improving the model is how the mindset in the academia. But in fact, if the data is not good, if the data is not clean, it's not important how well you are improving your model. Yeah, there's nothing bad in that. Yes, it's a necessary, but before going to that step, and I will go back to that step, you need to improve the data, as I said, and there are other things that you need to take care of. Now, as I said before, we have a clean data, but you need to look to the as cases in which your data, even though it's a clean, but it's imbalanced. And now, not if it's not important really how clean is your data, how good is your model, if you are not taking care of the balance of the classes in your data. And why is that? Because machine learning models, especially neural networks, they tend to learn the classes in which you have a big number of samples. And why is that? Because they penalized more. So I would recommend everybody, before start to train model, look to the data. Is it balanced or not? If it's not balanced, though, then it's clear that you are going to do well with the over with well represented classes, and then but you are not going to learn. And there are different approaches to solve that problem. Well, everybody will think about undersampling and oversampling, where in undersampling you are risking to lose very valuable scenarios and cases in the well represented data, with the rich cases, and with oversampling there is a risk to overfit the oversampled class, the poor class that you converted to rich artificially. But but there is other tricks, and these tricks that I'm mentioning here, they are related to the dealing with the data. So the first one is changing the samples of the data, resampling them. And there is another trick that I used to apply there, and it's really very useful, which is merging similar classes. And to understand that, I will show a case here in which we have two different of defects of the road. One of them are the cracks with the vertical cracks, and now the other ones are same vertical cracks, but they are sealed. And now the left one, they are very popular. You can see them everywhere, while the other one, the sealed crack one, they are very rare. You don't see them. And when you train a model, when you train a model, okay, when you train a model, uh, sorry about that. When you train a model, The model tend to learn the model the under some the well represented classes, but the models that are the classes that are rare, it's hard to learn. So one of the tricks is to merge them to the very similar ones, and it's better to misclassify them, or I would say give the labeler or give the user a case in which you say it's A or B. You give them both of them, and leave it for the cleaning process next stage rather than miss it. So this is one of the tricks that it's very helpful and very useful at detecting the rare classes. And as you see here, you don't need to change the model. What you need to do is to deal with the labels of your classes. Now, there are, as I said, the previous two tricks are related to the data itself. Now, there is the popular one, which is adjusting the loss function. So instead of using cross entropy, you inject the information about labeling, the distribution of the labeling. So you can give weight for the classes of the model. For the you give weights for the classes, so model will be penalized more when it makes mistakes with the low underrepresented classes. Or you can add something that like let's say the logarithm of your sample. So you subtract the logarithm of the number of samples. So the bigger the bigger are the samples in some class, the more the logit is going to lose. Beside that, there is another trick which is becoming very popular here nowadays, which is ensembles, which is using ensembles, and mainly here I mean mixture of models. And mixture of models is it's a way to sample. It's a way to sample different models. Every one of them is called expert, and you have a gating model and a gating part. And in this case, the model is there are several models that are learning solving several tasks on your data. And this part here, the gating bit, the gating network is what is taking care of how you are aggregating the results. I would say I will add I would say one example that I use in the work that we are using. We have data which was under imbalanced, and we trained three models, or let's say one model with three experts. So every expert was trained with a different loss function, and now the loss function is one loss function was the default one, cross entropy. The other one was the balanced one, and the last one was the inverse. So as you see here, we have three models, in which every one of them. Okay, am I running out of the time? Sorry. So as I said here,
Yes, sir.
you can. Okay, I have two more slides, and I'll go very fast. So as I said, you train different models, and you learn how to ensample them using the gating networks, which is a part of which is handling how to aggregate them. And then there is one another problem that normally meets you a lot in the industry, which is model drifting. And model drifting, which is it's in the case, or it's in the step of the deployment, when you deploy your model and you see that after time you see that the model is not doing well with the data or that you have. And the reason behind that is changing in the data. So the data that the model was trained on is not similar, because of maybe I was a witness of a case like that, where we changed our cameras, and now our old models are not working well as we had before. And another case, it's called concept drifting, uh, uh, um, which is changing the relation between the model, between the output, the expected variable, the y and the x. Let's say that you train the model in which you had the relation between input and output was a linear, and then after time, because of changing of the conditions, maybe global conditions, the relation become linear. So your models start to uh, perform under like degrade in the performance. So as you see here, and data driving and the data drifting, the function is same, the separator is same, but the data is changing. While in the concept drifting, the model, the separator change it, the separating curve change it. So your model is not defining your model is not uh, doing well with the data. And to solve that problem, you need to keep monitoring on your data every time. Do that, I mean, periodically collect data, see how your model is doing with it, and then test the model with the new data. If the performance is okay, then that's fine. If the performance is not okay, then you need to label that data, train your model again, and so on, and you keep in that loop. So I would advise everybody to keep monitoring on the data, or on the performance of your model after deployment. Deploying is not the end. You need to keep monitoring your model after deploying it. Sorry for the running out of time.
Due to limited time, we won't be able to take any questions, but thank you a lot, Dr. Adel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to invite our next speaker, Dr. Mohammad Jabril. Dr. Jabril, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Let me try to share the screen again. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, thank you again for considering me as an invited speaker at the conference. So my talk here will focus on the tricks that we usually follow to get a successful deep learning model, deployable model. And to start with, let me show you here the basic machine learning pipeline. Maybe most of you are familiar with. We usually start with label data, as Dr. Adil mentioned in his presentation, to solve supervision tasks. Then we go to the second stage, training a model, then evaluate that model, and eventually we need to deploy this model to be accessible to the end users. And usually the training step, the training step for the model involves many internal and sub stages. But here, let me just highlight the most two common steps, which is called data preparation and hyperparameters tuning. Usually, we refer to data preparation as a data recipe in which we try to clean the data, normalize it, select the best data to train the model, and so on. In hyperparameters tuning, we try to find out the best model that will fit the data, and also try to find the best parameters, training parameters to train the model. And we usually call this a training recipe. Usually data scientists focus more on data preparation step, but machine learning scientists try to find the best training recipe to get a good model. Talking about the evaluation step, it is usually about deciding whether this model is performing well in order to get deployed and accessible to the end user. There are, as you know, there are some criteria to decide that. For example, one simple criterion could be the accuracy. For example, we can say, okay, this model can be a good a good model if it gives us accuracy on the tested 90%. The evaluation step usually involves also a human evaluation step in which an expert of domain can try to challenge the model and analyze its output and decide if this model is deployable or not. The last stage of this pipeline is to deploy a model. And when we talk about deployment in industry, we take care about the resources budgets because in some scenario you will find yourself that will not be able to shape a large deep learning models due to the limitations of the resources. For example, you will find yourself that you are limited to deploy a model to a CPU machine rather than GPU machine. So the question is here how we can maintain the two requirements, the performance requirement in which we need to achieve a high accuracy, and also the deployment requirements in which we want to deliver or ship small models that can fit the resources. And to answer these questions, let's look at this figure. I think most of you are familiar with this figure because you know that the secret to get a successful and a model with high accuracy is in the data. The data is the most valuable resources for knowledge. So as you can see, there are two kinds of models in machine learning area. We have the most learning algorithm or the traditional machine learning algorithm, and we have the deep learning algorithm. In case of the traditional machine learning models or machine learning algorithm, as we increase the amount of data, the model improves, but it starts to saturate it at some point. While the relationship between the deep learning models and the performance of the deep learning model and the amount of data is almost exponential. As you increase the amount of data, you observe that the performance of the deep learning model increases exponentially. That is good point in which will allow us to satisfy the first requirements, which is getting a model that is performing well with a good accuracy or high performance. However, there are some challenges here. The first challenge that I mentioned, this increasing the amount of data will lead us to increase the model capacity and in order and accordingly break or violate the second requirement, which is having a model that is not shippable in terms of resources packets. So you will find yourself in a trade-off between increasing the model capacity and increasing the performance of the model and also breaking the deployment requirements. And the question is here, how we can maintain both of these two requirements and get a successful and deployable deep learning model. And this is what I'm going to answer in the upcoming slides. So as I mentioned, the secret in getting a successful deep learning model is in the data. So the question is here how we can increase the amount of data and also get a small and deployable machine deep learning model. So the first trick we do and is called knowledge distillation, and the idea is basically here is that we want to start by getting all the benefits from the large amount of data that we have and get a large model that perform well on the test set and give us a high accuracy. And then once we have this model, this large model that is called teacher, we start by distilling its knowledge to a small model or a student model. What we mean by distillation is simply that we take the data that we have and try use the model, the teacher model, to predict the or give us a prediction on that data, and then train a student to mimic the behavior of the teacher. This student model usually smaller, relatively smaller in terms of number of parameters when we compare it to the teacher models. And the reason that we want to have these large models, as I mentioned, because um, um, if we increase the amount of data, then it is required to increase the capacity of the model and go to large models. And this uh, this allows us to change the basic machine learning pipeline into what I call it here two stages by machine learning pipeline. So as I mentioned, in the first stage, we train a large model that is called teacher model using the label data, and then we use this large model to generate new distilled data. And here I would like to mention that there are two kinds of distillation. One is called hard labels distillation, and the other one is called soft label distillation. What we mean by hard label distillation is that if we assume, for example, that we have a classification task in which an example will be should be assigned to one class, hard labels means that once we have the prediction from the teacher model, we take uh, the top class and assign it to the input. And what we mean by soft labels that we keep the probabilities of each of all the classes from the prediction. And if we are going to work on soft label distillation, that means we solve the problem as a regression problem in which we try to predict the probabilities, and then the student should mimic the behavior of the teacher in that case. And if we are going to solve the distillation problem as hard labels, that means we solve it as a classification problem, and we use cross entropy loss function in order to make the student mimic the behavior of the teacher. Here also we can see that it is possible to add more unlabeled data, which allows us to increase the diversity of the data, and also add more examples and to the distilled data. And the idea and the reason of having more unlabeled data is that we might be in a situation that the student model will not exactly match the performance of the teacher. So increasing the distilled data will help us to keep the performance of the teacher and maintain the accuracy that we have in the first stage, which is training the teacher model. With this case, we compress the model, we make the model smaller, and make it satisfy the deployment requirements, and also maintain the first requirement, which is having a high performance or a high accuracy in order to deploy the model. However, this is not the best scenario to utilize the amount of the data that we have, because as we know that um, unlabeled data is much larger than labeled data. And the question is here how we can get benefits from this unlabeled data and boost the performance of the models, both of them, the teacher and the student. And here I'm showing that there are some tricks which is called to utilize the unlabeled data. The first trick is to apply what we call unsupervised or semi-supervised trainings. So the idea is that we start by pre-training a large models, and then use these pre-trained large models to initialize our teachers. So here I just show the differences between the three setups: supervised learning, semi-supervised learning, and unsupervised learning. In case of unsupervised learning, all the data are unlabeled, and we pre-train large models to solve what we call a dummy task, or a fake tasks in order to solve the problem. For example, in case of NLP domain, we usually train what we call language models or masked language models. GPT is one good example of these large models. And there's in computer vision, for example, we can train denoising autoencoders, which is a good large models to learn the representation of the images. In some cases, we can combine both of the unlabeled data and labeled data and go to semi-supervised learning setup to get to pre-train large models and use them to initialize the teachers. With this case, if we were successful to get a pre-trained model, then we can change the pipeline and do what I call it here, 3 stages of machine learning pipeline. In the first stage, as I said, we use unlabeled data and unsupervised training setups or semi-supervised training setups to pre-train large models, and then use them to initialize the teachers instead of initializing these models from scratch. This is a very helpful trick, and it used to help us to increase the performance of the models, in both in NLP domain or in computer vision domain. For example, you can see that most of the researchers, they start, for example, to if they want to solve computer vision tasks, start by initializing the models from pre-trained models trained on image network, as an example. But nowadays, there are so many pre-trained models trained in unsupervised techniques. And then the next stages remain the same. We After we initialize the model with a pre-trained model, we start by training large teacher model, and then this start the distillation step, which is training the student model. But this is also not the best case to get the benefits from the both unlabeled data, unlabeled data, and labeled data, because you might, as I mentioned, might be in a situation where there is a gap between the student model and the teacher model. And to overcome this issue, let me zoom in the training large teacher model step here and show you how we can get benefits from the unlabeled data and boost the performance of the teacher in order to get a better student model. And if you can see in the slide, now I have like and the internal steps of building a better teacher model. So let's assume that we start from clean and labeled human annotated data as a seed. We start by training a teacher model. This teacher model is usually a good fit in terms of capacity for the labeled data. And then we use this model to generate what we call synthetic data from the unlabeled data, and then combine both of label and synthetic data to train another larger model or teacher model that is larger comparing to the first teacher model. And we keep doing the same iteration until we get a model with a better performance than the T1 model, the teacher one, the first teacher model. And once we have this one, we start by performing the distillation step, but instead of doing it from T1, we do it from what we call it here, T2 teacher model. In this case, we usually get benefits from having unlabeled data and also the distillation text. However, this is not always guaranteed to work because there are some challenges you may face, and the most challenges you can face when you work with this kind of pipelines are two challenges. The first one is how you can estimate the quality of the generated synthetic data uh, before sending it to train a student model. And there are some tricks. For example, if we talk about if we consider as an example the machine translation task, we usually have um, different techniques to filter out the noisy data and get clean data to train the student from this synthetic data. For example, we can use metrics like commit source metrics um, to score the data and then choose the best examples to train the student. There are other techniques that like lab scoring, laser scoring. All of these techniques help you to score your synthetic data and select only the best data. And finally, there is another challenge that is called teacher-student distillation gap. When you find yourself that your teacher, for example, give you 90% accuracy, but when you distill the knowledge to student, you will find yourself losing like 4 point or something like that. With this scenario, you might need to do some text to in order to close the gap between the student and the teacher, um, and keep um, evaluation criteria met. And one of the most successful trick is to increase the amount of distilled data, because with that case, when you increase the amount of distilled data, you will go to the filtering step and filter the noisy, and you will increase the diversity of the exam in the examples, and help the student model to meet the or to maintain the accuracy of the teacher. So that's all from my side. If you have any question, I will be happy to answer.
Thank you, Dr. Jabril. Ladies and gentlemen, now I am pleased to invite the last speaker of the session, Mr. Akram Ahmed, Chief Data Scientist, ZMQ Development, New Delhi.
So which one it is? Uh, Dr. Parvez, Dr. Asim sir, Dr. Bukhari, Dr. Arman, and all participants, Assalamu alaikum. I am representing here my company ZMQ, Technology for Development. So here everybody understand that tech development means developing some softwares or something, applications or websites like this. But here in our tagline, the technology for development means we are working as a non-profit NGO, non-profit organization. We work for the underprivileged people, okay, women's and children's health, education, and upliftment of their livelihood and all these things. Okay, so so ZMQ, we have three international offices. One is located in New Delhi, another is in South Africa, and we are working in Uganda and Rwanda, two countries of South Africa, and our one office is in Canada, Montreal. Okay, so and we have where we are working. Our domain is for the poverty, illiteracy, digital divide, poor healthcare access, sanitary, electricity grid, hunger, and malnutrition. So we are making life different, okay, uh, for the people who are underprivileged. So the world population is about 8 billion, and these underprivileged population is about 4 billion. So we are working and we are trying to do something for these 4 billion peoples of the world. Uh, sorry. We have some channels by which we are helping these people, like Mira channel. Here we are working on, we have mobile applications which help the people to self screen for the TB. If they will get some questions and they answer that, and our application will predict that he or she has TB or not. So they can self screen. Women Mobile Lifeline channels. Another application is that for prenatal care, immunization, neonatal, family planning, adolescent girl health care. So, okay, one of our program is Freedom TV, and this is in India. We are working in Mumbai, we are working in Bahraich, and we are working in MP, 3 places, and many more places are about to come. And this, we are not working alone. Actually, government organizations are also with us, so we are working with the help of them. So, okay, I will skip that one. See this. In this picture, you can see our mobile app. If somebody has somebody going through the treatment of the TB, so the main thing is that many people just skip their doses, and speaking the dose in the TB is a very dangerous. So we keep tracking that they are taking their medicines daily or not. So we just take their videos, somebody helps us or they do this by themselves, and we keep tracking that they are taking their medicines regularly. So we are not just helping them to diagnose, but we are helping them to get treated. So means they complete their treatment also. Ajivika Connect is the program for we make here SHG groups, self-help groups for the women's, underprivileged women, and we help them, we train them how to do the business actually, and we provide monetary help also. Okay, so in Mewat district, this is one of the very backward district of the India. Okay, there we have about 200 SHGs total. Okay, so we have completed project successfully there to help women to come forward and do whatever business they want to do. Okay, every SHG group has 20 women each. Okay, in every group, and they decide what they want to do. We teach them how to do, how to select the product according to the locality, how to how to do the productions, how to sell it in the market. Even we suggest them the market also, and these all are not only manually. We do this by providing them some tools on their mobiles. Okay, so this way we are collecting data also, because nowadays everybody is talking about the data. Okay, so data is very important. Without data, in heuristic development, what we did, we were doing development, our software development, that even we don't have data, even then we can develop any application. Okay, earlier in heuristic development, without data we can develop any application. Then we can put data in the database. That application will run. Okay, but in data science and AI, we need the data. Data is the primary thing, because everybody is talking about the data. So without data, there is no AI, because here we do the training of the data. Then based on that training, how accurate is your training or how accurate is your data. Okay, so your prediction will depend on that. After that prediction, you can give some suggestions also further. So that is the intelligence. We are making the machines intelligent. Okay, it is not that only we are doing some task by using these machines. No, we are making machine intelligence, so even human interaction is going to be less. But it is not, we cannot say that human interaction with the machine will be vanishes, not at all. So there are some projects. Actually, I want to show some projects. This is Hatching Hope initiative. This is from Odisha, and there in Odisha, in every house backyard there is poultry farm, 2 hens, 20 hens, or according to their capacity, they do the farming of hens. Okay, this is their way of earning some money, extra money. In every house backyard you will get this. So we started this project with the help of the Odisha government, and now we have almost finished this project very successfully. Even we are going further for that. So here also, what I want to say, that we are working on many domain, okay, and we are collecting the data, and we have a lot of data, so we can make some AI applications for them. We have a lot of opportunity there in ZMQ, and okay, see this is the Tika toy that is implemented for the pregnant lady and neonatal care, for immunization and all these things. So this Tika toy has been implemented in Afghanistan, South Africa, and India also. Okay, this toy is helping, just like IoT device, it is helping the pregnant women and the newborn baby, okay, in every step. If they are missing any immunization, so it will help suggest them that this is the due date for your immunization, and you have to visit before that day, you have to visit the center. So many ways, there is a lot of features in there, but I am just telling you one of them. So the okay, so here we have triple impact model in ZMQ. We are working on that using the IoT, okay, IoT for development, AI for development, and research for development. So first of all, as I said, the data is important. So here we collect data using IoT devices, because IoT devices, what a point to collect the data. Okay, then we use these data for AI. Okay, this everywhere you see the development, and whatever we are doing, we publish as a research paper also. Our work, we keep publishing our research work, so that it publishing of your work is just a proof and accepted thing, that okay, you are doing this, okay, and society accept that if you publish something in your research work. So we just keep research work. So this is what everywhere you are working, you can see the D is there. IoT for development, this research for development, and AI for development. So this development means not just, as I earlier said you, it is not about developing the tools or technology. It is about the people. It is about the people who are underprivileged, and women, and children. Okay. So development means development of the people who are underprivileged. Okay. So in ZMQ we have another way of working. Just a minute. Okay, I want to keep this. Okay, because we are sorry. Okay, you can see here, just to make some interactive session. Can you see this picture? And anybody can tell me what you see in this picture. I can explain that this is a fighter plane coming from the battleground. Okay, and there are some bullet holes on that plane. So what you think about that? These are the planes coming from the battleground, and they have the bullet marks, or bullet okay, holes there. So can you imagine something?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
There are a lot of bullets on the sides, on the wings. So maybe you need to make them stronger.
Means you want to make the wings stronger, and the middle point is stronger, and the tail is stronger. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. One more thing. I want you to put some extra arteries or immunization there. In which part of the plane you will put some extra immunization? Can you decide? This is, see, I want to give some, example of data, how we play with the data, how data is helpful for us. Because what we understand for data, means data is there, we will do something. So how you will do something? First of all, we will, every data says something. Every data has their own story. So what is the story of this data? A plane coming from battleground, it has some bullet points. And we have to put some extra, something, bomb or something there. So where we will put? Okay, I will go ahead. I will not take much time. See, in the, in the wings, middle, so this plane is coming back from the battleground. But in my next slide, which I didn't show you, these planes are not coming back. Any plane is not coming back which has the, bullet points in that areas. What does it mean? These areas are, enemies are targeting these areas more. If any plane is targeted at these points, that is not coming back. So what we will do? We will put our, means where this is, bullet points are not there. Okay? Got my point or not? What I want to say? So it is about data, what we learn about from our data, then we can train and we can predict something or something we can do about data. So first of all, first thing you have to understand what is the story behind your data, because every data is not with the same story. Okay, so actually one thing more I want to, because I can see here a lot of young people are sitting there, so it feels me very good. So I would like to tell you one thing, that becoming a data scientist, what you should know. Okay, I think you all are exploring the net and all these things, so you must be knowing. So this is computer science. You all are from the computer science background. So it is not that you will do only, you will only develop some softwares or like this. No. Maybe some of you will go to some different domains. Somebody will become teacher. Somebody will become, go to the sales or something. Okay, service industries, Amazon. Somebody will go to the Google. So, okay, but this data science can be applied in every domain. Okay, whichever knowledge you have, you can apply. You just use, these data science tools as data science, or use this one as a tool. AI is a tool. Okay, which help any domain, okay, any domain for the better results. So this is not something that, okay, you have only this one. No, this is application in any domain. Okay, so all these things data science knows, computer scientists, mathematics and statistics, for EDA, exploratory data analysis and all these things, and domain expertise. If you are expert in any domains, you can become a data scientist. Okay, so I'm said that time is very good. I'm running out of time. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. As this session nears the end, I would like to invite Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan for his presidential remarks.
Thanks. I would like to express my gratitude to Professor Asim Zafar, the chairperson of the department, and all the distinguished faculty members and all the online as well as offline participants available here. I'm sure not only these preceding 3 talks, but all last 2 days of hectic, all those sessions were very, very relevant. And in particular, the ideas that basically we need to take it forward, especially when it comes to going back to industry. Industry is actually looking forward to solving problem, and technology is one of the solution enabler. Technology alone is not a panacea for problem solving, and it can't solve the problem on its own. technology has to be blended with couple of other things. So there are three pillars to excellence. Technology is one of them, the other two being people and processes. So we are here, so that means the manpower, the students, the researcher, the teacher, all those people have to be, so we bring the best technology, but we don't have a system of taking our people along with on how to optimize and how to use the best technology. The results will not be available. So people will blame technology when we don't take people along with it, and it has to be blended in the right proportion. And the third is the process. So technology, people, and process has to be apportioned appropriately, and they have to be blended, so that we can achieve excellence in any domain. So is the case with industry. So industry is actually, if we take educational institutions, as we are having students passing out and going to industry, industry has got its own expectation from the finished products of the institutions, which is the students. When they join, they are expected to solve the problem. So the way technology is moving at an unprecedented pace, on any given day, all the students who will be joining industry will be expected to learn, keep on learning what has arrived new, and keep on applying what they already know. So there will be an ongoing process of learning, upgrading skills, and applying the knowledge and skills to solve the real world problems. And I'm sure these talks were very, very relevant. That has given us an opportunity to see what others are already doing in the industry. That will be helpful for us, and it will help us to solve. Real world has limited resources. It has got real world problems. So we are not in a problem-free world. So we have to see to it that these, especially these discussions that have happened over the period of last 2 days, were very, very relevant. They would have triggered ideas, and I'm sure it will be very, very vital for us. And especially for the students, those who will be going to the industry, you will be having every day a real world challenge. So it should help us to trigger the thought process of being a solution problem solver. There will be n number of problems. People will look forward to you, that you are the technology, you know technology, how can you help us to solve the problem? So that is, I think it was very, very relevant, and I would like to congratulate Department of Computer Science for providing this opportunity to all the students and to all the speakers also to share their experience. I'm sure it was very, very relevant, and I'd like to conclude with this. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. Last but not least, as we come to an end of today's Industry Talk session, I would like to invite Dr. Faisal Anwar to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Laiba. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to all of you. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of Department of Computer Science AMU, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan Sahab, Director PMNF Computer Center AMU, Dr. Mohammad Jibreel, Microsoft Egypt, Dr. Adil S.A. Al-Raimi, Guest Solutions UK, Mr. Akram Ahmad and Shan Muhammad from ZMQ, New Delhi, who blessed us with their presence. Dr. Mohammad Jibreel, you delivered a wonderful session on towards a successful DL models with us, and I am sure the audience would have enjoyed the lecture. An excellent, insightful lecture on machine learning operation in road survey was presented by Dr. Adil S.A. Al-Raimi, and participants must have been benefited with the delivered content. Thank you, Dr. Adil, for this contribution. Mr. Akram Ahmed has presented a brilliant lecture on technology for development. Sir, we really appreciate your contribution to the society through the technology. We are thankful to Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan, a gem of a person and well-wisher of our department, for presiding this session. I'm also very thankful to the chairperson and convener of the conference, Professor Asim Zafar Sahab, for his dynamic leadership and guidance. Under his able leadership, this conference was envisaged and successfully executed. I'm grateful to organizing committee, volunteers, technical committee, teachers, non-teaching staffs, and students for making the session in particular and conference in general a grand success. A wide round of applause and thanks to all participants who made the event a memorable one. At last, but not least, I'm grateful to Dr. Mohammed Adeem for sharing this session with us. I'm also thankful to Chief Architect of the conference, Dr. Arman Rasul Faridi, for designing efficient algorithms that we have observed. Words are not enough to thank all the support that we receive from different teams and individuals to shape this event. Thank you and have a good day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I invite you all over a cup of tea. Soon after the tea break, we shall start the valedictory session at 4:15 p.m. Thank you.
बंद क्यों कर देते हैं? फौरन ही मत बंद किया करिए. छोड़ दिए. ऑन रहने दीजिए. हाँ. वहाँ पे तो वो करवा दिया. और एक bunch of certificates होगा जो on behalf of अरे कहाँ चला गया? उसमें ये डाउनलोड में है. Participants and delegates वो रिसीव करेंगे. ठीक है ना? आप उनसे बोलिए कि साहब जल्दी से वो दिलवा दीजिए. वो जहाँ से भी हो जल्दी लाइए. Remove these nameplates quickly. How many are there? फैसल सर से मांगिए. नदीम सर से मांगिए. और सर्टिफिकेट जो है आपको एक ट्रे में लेंगी और पीछे जब सर्टिफिकेट दे रहा हूँ सर्टिफिकेट्स इनके पास होंगे. ठीक है ना? सर्टिफिकेट्स और नंबर ये पास हो जाएंगे. ठीक है? तो बी ए पार्ट ऑफ अरे हमने देखा अचानक.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Respected chief guest, esteemed guest of honor, dignitaries, teachers, delegates, all my fellow students present here, and many alumni and participants watching us live. Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to all. From the core of my heart, I, Ghazala Zamir, student of MCA first year, welcome you all to the valedictory session of our first international conference on Emerging Computational Intelligence 2023, being organized by the Department of Computer Science, Aligarh Muslim University. We are so blessed to have a galaxy of personalities with us today. Our chief guest this evening is the Dean Students Welfare, Professor Abdul Aleem. He is one of the most outstanding professors in medieval poetry and comparative literature in Hindi. His research work has helped in bringing the often neglected works of the great poet Nazir Akbarabadi to the forefront. And many of his research articles have been published in journals of national and international repute. We are highly grateful to have such inspiring personality with us today. Please join me in welcoming on stage our chief guest, Professor Abdul Aleem. Thank you so much, sir. May I now invite our esteemed guest of honor, Professor Afifullah Khan, whose research interest is to explore ecological patterns and processes using radio telemetry and remote sensing. He has held several administrative positions in the university, including Honorary Assistant Director, Center for Promotion of Science, Assistant Dean Students Welfare, Coordinator of University Schools, and Proctor of the University. Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite our next guest of honor, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan, Director, PMNF Computer Center, AMU. He is a senior IT professional with in-depth experience of more than 25 years. He has a proven track record of excellence in heading numerous large-scale programs and deliveries at global scale in India and overseas. His experience is spread across global IT industry, technology management, professional consultancy services, research, innovation, and academics. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to invite our distinguished convener, Professor Asim Zafar, the chairperson of our department. Thank you so much, sir. I'm honored to invite on stage Dr. Mohammad Sajid, one of the prominent professors of our department, to please come on stage. Thank you, sir. I request Laiba Javed to please come and present the bouquet to our chief guest, Professor Abdul Aleem. Thank you, Laiba. I request Ariz Aftab to please come and present the bouquet to our guest of honor, Professor Afifullah Khan. Thank you, Ariz. Now I request Abiha Hassan to please come and present the bouquet to our another guest of honor, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan. Thank you, Abiha. Now I request Ziaul Mustafa to please present the bouquet to our convener, Professor Asim Zafar. Thank you, Zia. Now I request Ilma Khan to please present the bouquet to Dr. Mohammad Sajid. Thank you, Ilma. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to open the last important session of our conference, and I thank each and every one of you for taking out the time to be here with us today. And now, to create the sense of unity and to remind the higher purpose of our conference, I invite Sayyid Muhammad Hamza Hussain for the recitation from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Read. In the name of the Lord who created man from a clinging form. Read. Your Lord is the most bountiful one, who taught by the means of the pen, who taught man what he did not know. Sadaqallahul Azim.
Thank you, Sayyid Hamza Hussain, for the beautiful recitation and translation for the audience. May I now request Professor Asim Zafar, the convener of our conference, to please come and present the conference report.
Thank you, Ghazala. Respected Professor Muhammad Aleem Saab, Professor Afifullah Khan Saab, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan Saab, Dr. Sajid Anwar, Ms. Ghazala Zamir, distinguished guests, delegates, participants, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen, and all those who are watching us live through YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, and wishing you all a very good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you all in this valedictory session of the International Conference on Emerging Computational Intelligence 2023. On behalf of the organizing committee of this conference, I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all present here and to those who have joined us virtually through YouTube Live. Considering the new normal, we have purposefully provisioned online participations so that the academicians, researchers, and industry experts across the globe could participate in this event. And I'm happy to inform you that participants across the globe have participated in this conference in both physical as well as virtual mode. At the very outset of the event, I feel very honored and privileged to welcome the chief guest of this event, Professor Abdul Aleem Sahab, Dean, Students Welfare, AMU Aligarh. He is a great educationist as well as a very good administrator. And to the very outset, I would like to say is very kind to the students as well. And that's why he has been selected for Dean of Students Welfare. So whenever you any kind of problem, just treat him as a guardian and you can approach him. He's always available to that. I can assure you on his behalf. I know him since last 20 years. I feel extremely glad to welcome our guest of honor, Professor Afifullah Khan, OSD Development, AMU Aligarh. He is a very dynamic personality. And he has a vision to change the university in the sense, basically. So whenever you go to him with any developmental plan or any new plan, which you can convince him, he is very ready to agree to your plan. So thank you, sir.
I extend a warm welcome to our guest of honor, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan, Director, PMNF Computer Center, who is a dynamic personality, and always his contribution to this university regarding IT infrastructure will be remembered. Thank you, sir. Sir, with this session, we have approached towards the fag end of this 2 days international conference. We have started this journey 6 months back, and I feel nothing less than proud and grateful to have reached this milestone together with a stellar team. In the beginning, it appeared to us as a huge challenge in getting consents from international scientists, researchers, and academicians to be part of this international event. However, I am glad to inform you that we have received overwhelming response from international experts, and approximately 40 renowned academicians and experts in the field of IT gave their consent to be part of this event, along with assurances to support this event in all possible manner. This was the first encouragement and acted as a booster for all our team members. Especially, we have designed the website for this conference, and this was launched with an appeal for paper submission. As this was first international conference being organized by our department, we were very cautious about the quality of papers. We have received 200 plus papers from across various countries across the globe. We have invited and involved approximately 150 reviewers, both national and international, and after a very rigorous blind review process, we accepted only 71 papers following a standard practices and requirement of good quality indexing services. These 71 papers out of 200 papers submitted to this conference were presented in 10 technical sessions during 2 days. 38 papers were presented in physical mode, while 33 papers were presented in online mode. These were covered under 10 tracks related to optimization, artificial intelligence, computational intelligence, machine learning, federated learning, evolutionary computation, cybersecurity, fuzzy logic, signal processing theory and its methods, blockchain, cloud computing, fog computing, Internet of Things, applications and related areas. One best paper award was adjudicated by the session chairs for each of the 10 tracks. So it is pertinent to inform you that we had a distinguished panel of session chairs from India and abroad. Besides technical session, we had 2 plenary sessions where IT experts from Japan, USA, IT, South Asian University and JMI delivered keynote lectures on emerging topics and recent research trends in the area of CS and IT. These sessions were interactive, and these have opened new avenues for researchers working in this area to explore the possibilities of collaboration with foreign agencies and institutions. We had provisioned one exclusive session on industry talk to make our students aware with the recent trends and developments taking place in IT industry. 4 experts from industry, both national and international level, delivered expert talks and enlightened the students with latest industry trends and future requirements of the industry. I assure you that this would be of great help in training our students as per the industry requirement. We have been fortunate enough to get all kind of necessary support from various sections of the university, especially from academics and administration. I must mention the support ensured from the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Tariq Mansoor Sahab, that kept our morale high throughout the event. Staff members, both teaching and non-teaching, worked day in and day out, and the way our highly motivated students contributed in such a big event has been very encouraging and satisfying. Organizing such an event on such a grand level provided our teachers and students a great learning opportunity, and it would certainly be helpful in connecting ourselves with outer world and foster collaboration activities. Further, they feel now more confident, are enthusiastic to organize and host the second version of this conference in 2025. I hope all the participants might have been benefited from the discussions and deliberations held during these 2 days of the international conference and carry on their researches further, building upon these learnings. Wish you all the best, and thank you for being part of this event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We are eager to hear from our distinguished guests, and I begin with Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan, Director of PMNF Computer Center. It will be an honor to hear a few words from you, sir.
Respected Professor Alim Saab, Chief Guest, Professor Afifullah Saab, the Guest of Honor, University Development, and a very, very vibrant person we are interacting with various issues, and the dynamic leader of the department, Professor Asim Zafar Saab, distinguished faculty members, especially the young team members who have been working hard to, I would like to, we have already spoken, just a couple of things I wanted to mention about with the students, that these workshops, that the one that we have attended might have triggered a lot of ideas. At least take one or two for real implementation that will help us to be better prepared for solving the problem, because in industry we will be asked to solve problems every day. So this workshop, definitely this conference and the industry talk has provided a lot of ideas, but at least have some action plan so that we will implement it. With this, I would like to keep my discussion short because I had already spoken a few minutes back, about half an hour back. So I'll leave the floor for the other guest of honor to add value further. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for your valuable words, sir. May I now invite our esteemed guest of honor, Professor Afifullah Khan. He is currently OSD Development, one of the prominent portfolio of the university. Professor Khan is an excellent teacher and outstanding researcher of international repute. It will be an honor to hear a few words from you, sir.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, distinguished scientists and IT professionals who have joined this conference, participants, students, researchers, and ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and very good evening or morning, depending upon the times where the people are watching it. I am not a really competent person to speak to on this occasion, since I am not a subject expert. But as a duty, I have to do it. I would just say that I lay my hands on computer in 1986, and at that time it was called as 286 machine. Then I saw things are changing. It was to 386, 486, 80, XT, and now i7. So there is a lot change, lot transformation, and a lot of advancement in the technology, not only in the machines, but in case of the utility softwares, development of languages, and many more. Since then, we are hearing quite a lot of different terms like cloud computing, fog computing, IoT, AI, and so on. And if I look back 86 and now, then this change or rate of change in the development of the technology is quite rapid as compared when I think of James Watt and the resultant now the development in that sector. I probably think, I may not be correct, that IT sector is one of the most advanced and rapidly expanding sector which has seen changes in a very short period of time. And that is my worry, because the things are changing with a very high speed, and that is a challenge and a challenge to the kind of departments we have in a university system, where you have more than 107 departments to take care, and Department of Computer Science or Computer Engineering is just one component of the university. So I thought that, are we really keeping a pace with the changing world or not? And if not, then this is a challenge. But when I received this invitation card and I saw on the topic of this seminar or conference, the computational intelligence, then I say, oh, yes, we are on the board. Our computer center is not lagging behind, because this term I did not hear first. That was for the first time I heard this term, computational intelligence, though I knew about AI and IoT, but not of computational intelligence. So then I thought, okay, let's Google what is computational intelligence. So I grabbed few things, and lastly, I came to know that this is a recent one, probably started in 1990 onwards. And the term was probably coined during that period, between 1990 and 1994. So it is a recent field, and I was really satisfied that the Department of Computer Science is taking leap and basically moving with the time. I could not understand much of computational intelligence, but it was Google again which told me that the endpoint is, or one of the applications is Alexa and Siri of computational intelligence. I said, okay, this is something very important, and this is something very, very good. I hear Alexa or Siri, fantastic. I can ask anything. And that basically has thrown a light that how important this field is and how important the applications are and where we can apply further. This conference has thrown a light on this subject along with many other related fields, as just briefed by Professor Asim Zafar, that lot of papers and lot of good discussions have held during this period of 2 days. And I believe that I must thank all the participants and the scientists who have presented their papers and research and enlighten our students, staff and researchers. And what I basically think, what Parvez Saab has also emphasized upon, what I think is that taking a note further, our students and staff members would certainly develop something like Siri or Alexa, maybe any other application which is useful for the people. And that is the basically demand of the time, that we must go and move on from lab research to the application research. And I hope that this conference would have certainly thrown a good light and have enlightened all of us to go further in this direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we had in total 10 technical tracks in a 2-day conference, in which 4 were offline and 6 were online. For each track, we have a Best Paper Award, and I am so obliged to announce our talented winners. Track 1, Physical, title, Machine Learning Based Predictive Modeling of Student Counseling Gratification, a case study of Aligarh Muslim University. Winner is Ahmed Raza Shibli. Track 2, Physical. Title, Enhancing the Cryptographic Key Using Sample Entropy and Veil Optimization Algorithm. Winner is Mohammad Saqib Javed. Track 3, Virtual. Title, Lung Cancer Classification Using Fine-Tuned VGG16. Winner is Neetha VR. Track 4, Virtual. Title, User Profiling and Interest-Based Machine Learning to Solve the Cold Start Problem for a Recommendation Engine. Winner is Syed Nasir Hassan. Track 5, Virtual. Title, Descriptive Statistical Analysis and Discretization of Academic Data for Machine Learning Techniques. Winner is Balwinder Kaur. Track 6, Physical. Title, Leveraging Transfer Learning for Detecting Misinformation on Social Media. Winner is Junaid Ali Reshi. Track 7, Physical. Title, Hybrid Model of AES and ECC for Data Security. Winner is Salman Ali. Track 8, Virtual. Title, An Expert System for Analyzing the Behavior of Students in the Higher Education. Winner is Dr. Mushtaq Ahmed. Track 9, Virtual. Title, Performance Evaluation of Software Defect Prediction with NASA Dataset Using Machine Learning Techniques. Winner is Mohammad Mustaqim. Track 10, Virtual. Title, Deep Learning with Encoders for Intrusion Detection Systems. Winner is Vijay Budania. Can we have a huge round of applause for extremely talented winners, please? The certificates of the winners of the online tracks are being emailed to them. May I request the winners of physical mode to please get ready to come upon the stage, please? I will call upon their name one by one. First of all, I request Dr. Mohammad Sajid to present the best paper certificates for track 1 to Mr. Ahmad Raza Shibli. Thank you, sir. Congratulations to the winner. Now I request our honorable guest of honor, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan, to present the best paper certificates for track 2 to Mr. Mohammad Saqib Javed. Thank you, sir. Congratulations to the winner. May I request our honorable chairperson, Professor Asim Zafar, to present the best paper certificates for track 6 to Mr. Junaid Ali Reshi. Thank you, sir. Congratulations to the winner. May I request our honorable guest of honor, Professor Afifullah Khan, to present the best paper certificates for track 7 to Mr. Salman Ali. Thank you, sir. Congratulations to the winner. Can we have a huge round of applause for the winners, please? Ladies and gentlemen, I would now request our registration chair, Dr. Shafiqul Abedin, to receive the certificates of participants and delegates on their behalf. I would request Professor Asim Zafar to do the honor. Thank you, sir. Participants and delegates will receive their certificates from Dr. Shafiqul Abedin later. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to share with great pride that for the first time, computer science discipline of AMU has been ranked in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings 2023. And this international conference too is another feather in the cap. To make this moment memorable, I would request our chief guest this evening, Professor Abdul Aleem, to present a memorabilia. And I request our chairperson, Professor Asim Zafar, to receive it on behalf of the Department of Computer Science. A huge round of applause for the computer science fraternity of AMU, please. Thank you, sir. It is my pleasure to call our chief guest this evening, Professor Abdul Aleem, Dean Students Welfare AMU, to say a few words. Please join me in welcoming Professor Aleem.
Professor Afifullah Khan, OSD Development, Professor Asim Zafar Saab, Chairperson, Department of Computer Science, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan, Director, Computer Center, Dr. Muhammad Sajid, Maria Shoaib, Professor Bukhari, Dr. Arman Rasool Faridi, Dr. Abdul Samad Saab, Dr. Iqbal और बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटी के टीचर्स मौजूद हैं. I am very thankful to Dr. Asim Zafar and his team to invite me as a chief guest of this evening. मैं लिखकर तो बहुत सारा लाया हूँ, मगर कुछ अपनी मादरी ज़बान में मैं अभी बता रहा था आपसे बातचीत करूँ, क्योंकि कंप्यूटर के लोग हैं और आज जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है उसमें भी मेरा भी थोड़ा बहुत इन्वॉल्वमेंट है एज ए मेंबर. बहुत सारी चीज़ों को हमने कमेंट किया है जो आपकी न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई है. उसमें जो एक पैराग्राफ दिया हुआ है, एक पार्ट दिया हुआ है कि जो एजुकेशन होगी वो मदर टंग में होगी और रीजनल लैंग्वेज में होगी. और अभी कल मोदी जी ने जो वो बोहरा कम्युनिटी का जो एक मदरसे का इफ्तिताह किया है, उसमें उन्होंने कहा भी है कि हम अपनी रीजनल लैंग्वेज मदर टंग को डेवलप करेंगे. न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 सभी ने आपने पढ़ा होगा और वो लागू भी हो चुकी है. तो हमें बहुत सारी उम्मीदें हैं कंप्यूटर साइंस डिपार्टमेंट से और मुझे लगता है वो उस पर खरा उतरेंगे भी कि जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, जो आपने सेमिनार कराया है, कॉन्फ्रेंस कराई है, यहाँ इंटरनेशनल लेवल के एक्सपर्ट्स मौजूद हैं, आईटी एक्सपर्ट मौजूद हैं, पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, टीचर्स हैं, रिसर्च स्कॉलर हैं और हमारे डियर स्टूडेंट्स हैं. उनसे हम उम्मीद करते हैं जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है वो इस देश के लिए. वो लगता है न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी यहाँ लागू भी हो चुकी है अगर आपने स्टडी की हो और बहुत सारे लोगों ने की भी है. डॉक्टर आसिम जफ़र साहब, एक नया आइडिया इस मुल्क के लिए, बिल्कुल नया आइडिया, और अभी कल आया है जिसे आप क्रेडिट को जमा करेंगे. जिस कल ही आपने देखा सुहेल मुस्तजाब साहब का एक नोटिस आया था नोडल ऑफिसर का. अभी तक यहाँ कोई इसी तरह का बैंक जो है, डेटा बैंक कॉन्स्टिट्यूट हो गया है यूनिवर्सिटी में. अभी मेरे पास बहुत सारे फ़ोन आते हैं, पता नहीं जो कॉन्टैक्ट अस करके है. आज भी फ़ोन आया कि सर मैंने बीएससी सेकेंड ईयर किया है जामिया से, जामिया के यहाँ बहुत सारे लोग, मैं यहाँ ट्रांसफ़र चाहती हूँ अलीगढ़ में. अब हमने कहा अभी तो ट्रांसफ़र का ये पहला बैच शुरू हुआ है, वो भी हमारे यहाँ शुरू हुआ है, अभी जामिया में शुरू भी नहीं हुआ. मैं बोर्ड का मेंबर हूँ वहाँ तो पास हुआ है अभी परसों, बहुत सारी बोर्ड स्टडीज़ में पास हुआ है। तो अब एक नया चैलेंज है एजुकेशन सिस्टम के लिए, जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, कि उसमें एक लड़का आपके डिपार्टमेंट में एमसीए में दाखिला लेता है या बीसीए में दाखिला लेता है या जो भी कोर्स से दाखिला लेता है, और वो यहाँ से मुतमईन है तो ठीक है, वरना तो नेक्स्ट ईयर, ये बड़ा चैलेंज है हमारे लिए, पूरे एजुकेशन सिस्टम के लिए चैलेंज है कि वो जहाँ पर बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस डिपार्टमेंट दे रहा है वो वहाँ पर अपने क्रेडिट ट्रांसफ़र करा के चला जाएगा। तो ये सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में हम सब के सामने, और ख़ासकर टीचर्स के सामने, रिसर्चर्स के सामने बड़ा चैलेंज है। लोग लग रहा है ये बहुत आसान है। एक कमेटी में भी था, जो एक सब कमेटी थी न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी की, मेरे एक दोस्त हैं प्रोफेसर कट्टी मनी, वाइस चांसलर सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी के, तो उन्होंने एक सब कमेटी मुझे भी रखा था। वो तो मेन कमेटी जो 10 की थी पीएम की, उसमें थे, और हमने यही कहा, हमने कहा ये तो बड़ा चैलेंज है। तो बोले हम वही तो चैलेंज एक्सेप्ट करना चाहते हैं टीचर्स को, कि आप 2 साल यहाँ पढ़े स्टूडेंट और तीसरे साल अपने क्रेडिट लेकर अपने बैंक ट्रांसफ़र करा के वो जामिया चला जाए कि साहब कंप्यूटर साइंस डिपार्टमेंट वहाँ का बहुत अच्छा है, मैं वहाँ जाना चाहता हूँ। आप रोक नहीं पाएंगे, नहीं रोकने का उसमें प्रावधान जिसे हिंदी में कहते हैं है ही नहीं। आप और वो जामिया का यहाँ पर आ जाएगा। जो सिस्टम लागू अभी तो लग रहा है बहुत आसान है कि हमने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया जो हमारे आईटी एक्सपर्ट हैं या जिन्होंने एजुकेशन एक्सपर्ट हैं। इसलिए मैं थोड़ा सा बड़ी उसकी चैलेंजिंग जिसे कहना चाहिए, तो हमें नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में बड़ी तैयारी के साथ हर डिपार्टमेंट को, और ख़ासकर जो आईटी है हमारा, जो इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी है, इसके लिए तो और चैलेंज है, क्योंकि आज प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज़ भी हैं मैदान में, उनसे मुकाबला है ना। और अब फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटी का भी कैंपस खुलने की बिल पास हो गया है ना। तो जो हम लोग बाहर जा रहे थे, जो हम फॉरेन में हमारे स्टूडेंट या हमारे बच्चे बाहर जा रहे थे, अब वो सारे कैंपस यहीं खुलेंगे। गवर्नमेंट ने एक पॉलिसी बना ली, कैबिनेट से पास कर दिया। तो एजुकेशन के लिए एक और बड़ा चैलेंज, न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी प्लस फॉरेन के जो सेंटर खुलेंगे, उसमें हम उनसे कॉम्पीट कर पाएंगे, तभी हमारा जो सिस्टम है आगे बढ़ पाएगा। तो मैं कंप्यूटर सेंटर के सभी टीचर्स को, और ख़ासकर जो इसके कप्तान को तो मुबारकबाद दी ही जाती है, और जो टीम को, कप्तान के साथ साथ टीम को भी, और पूरी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी को, जिन्होंने जो इस सिस्टमेटिक, कल भी मैं उसमें गया था, इनॉग्रेशन में गया था, और जो इन्होंने रिपोर्ट पेश की है 200 पेपर्स, और इतने आईटी एक्सपर्ट्स को इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करना एक इसकी कामयाबी की ही पहचान है। और मैं समझता हूँ कि जो आपने 25 का टारगेट दिया है, मुझे पहली बार सुनने में लगा। मैं बहुत सारे सेमिनार में जाने का इत्तफाक होता है, बहुत सारे सेमिनार, हिंदुस्तान में शायद ही कोई यूनिवर्सिटी बची हो, या अभी मैंने बताया था मैं अभी आसाम में इत्तफाक से ये दौर चल रहा है कुछ गेस्ट का। अभी मैं 6, 7, 8 को लिटरेरी फेस्टिवल में, शायद कम लोगों को अल्लाह ताला का इनाम है कि मैं गवर्नमेंट का गेस्ट, जैसे ना स्टेट गेस्ट के तौर पर कोकराझार में लिटरेरी फेस्टिवल में पार्टिसिपेट करने का मौका मिला मुझे। बीटीआर गवर्नमेंट की ने इनवाइट किया था। तो वहाँ भी हमने यही कहा, जो गांधी की पॉलिसी थी, गांधी की पॉलिसी जो 8 शेड्यूल में बोर्डों को बाकायदा रिकग्निशन मिला है 8 शेड्यूल में, जैसे उर्दू हिंदी है, ऐसी एक बोर्ड हो जो 30 लाख सिर्फ लोग बोलते हैं, ओनली 30 लाख, और वो 8 शेड्यूल में है। वजह क्या है कि देखिए, जो भी कोई भी आदमी जो मेहनत करेगा, कुर्बानी देगा, उन्होंने कुर्बानी दी, 10 साल आंदोलन चलाया, और आज 8 शेड्यूल में उनकी ज़बान, उनकी बोडोलैंड यूनिवर्सिटी, बोडोलैंड कॉम्प्लेक्स, बोडो गवर्नमेंट, बीटीआर गवर्नमेंट। तो हमने कहा ये चैलेंज है, ये आप सब कुछ बोडोलैंड कर रहे हैं। बोले सर यही तो चैलेंज, हमारा ही तो चैलेंज गवर्नमेंट ने एक्सेप्ट किया है, क्या रीजनल लैंग्वेज में अब एजुकेशन दी जाएगी। हर एजुकेशन भी आ गया, मध्य प्रदेश में हिंदी मीडियम में मेडिकल होगा, यहाँ भी तैयार हो गया है। तो ये हंसने की बात ये नहीं है, बल्कि आप चाइना में, चाइनीज़ में करते हैं नहीं करते MBBS, फ्रेंच में करते हैं नहीं करते। भाई सारे बड़े मुल्क जो डेवलप मुल्क हैं, उनकी अपनी एक नेशनल लैंग्वेज है, वहाँ पर सारे कोर्सेज होते हैं। फ्रांस में जाते हैं, फ्रेंच में होती है नहीं, पहले वो फ्रेंच सिखाते हैं। अभी फ्रांस के एम्बेसडर आए थे अभी 1 हफ्ता पहले, वो अनाउंस भी करके गए, यहाँ पर आए थे कि हम इन्वाइट करते हैं आपको, आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी को। MOU वाइस चांसलर साहब ने ऑफ़र किया कि हम MOU को तैयार हैं, मैं भी था उस ग्रुप डिस्कशन में, कि आप आइए हमारे यहाँ, नई नई रिसर्चेज, नए खासकर IT पर, और भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, उसमें आप आइए, और हम MOU करने को तैयार ऑफ़र कर रहे हैं। तो अब चैलेंज है न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, ये पूरे एजुकेशन सिस्टम को, है ना, और सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स को, और सारे टीचर्स को, और आपके रिसर्चर्स जितने भी हैं, कि आप किस तरह से, आपको वर्ल्ड में किस तरह से, इस ग्लोब में किस तरह से सर्वाइव करना है उस पॉलिसी के साथ। तो मैं मुबारकबाद देता हूँ डॉक्टर आसिम ज़फ़र साहब को कि उन्होंने उसी पॉलिसी के तहत 25 की प्लानिंग देखी। अच्छे लोग वो होते हैं जो लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग करते हैं, है ना। जैसे अंग्रेज़ों ने 30 साल पहले की प्लानिंग की, तब उन्होंने, है ना, जैसे अमेरिका 30 साल पहले की प्लानिंग जो अब 23 है, 53, 50 की प्लानिंग उनके यहाँ मौजूद है, 50 तक की प्लानिंग मौजूद है। तो आपको, इस डिपार्टमेंट के लीडर को और सारी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी को मैं मुबारकबाद देता हूँ कि उन्होंने इस तरह से इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया है बहुत सक्सेसफुली, और इतने लोग पार्टिसिपेंट और इतने पेपर्स, और एक पेपर्स को मैंने पहली बार देखा कि अनाउंस भी हुआ और उनको प्राइज़ भी दिया जो विनर हैं। तो इस तरह से, और 25 के लिए अनाउंस किया है, इसलिए पूरी तैयारी के साथ आप 2 साल तैयारी के साथ करेंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि एक बहुत अच्छी इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस आप डिपार्टमेंट को और एक हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी को, ज़ाहिर है डिपार्टमेंट से ही यूनिवर्सिटी है, यूनिवर्सिटी कोई अपना अलग तो है नहीं, डिपार्टमेंट्स मिलाकर, फैकल्टी मिलाकर और अच्छे स्टूडेंट से ही यूनिवर्सिटी बनती है। तो एज ए स्टूडेंट, जैसे डीन स्टूडेंट वेलफेयर, जो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, मैंने देखा अभी स्कॉलरशिप्स, अभी 2500 स्कॉलरशिप आए इस बार। हमारे अब्दुल समद साहब मौजूद हैं, रात के 12 बजे तक वो टैबलेट को बांटते रहते हैं, मतलब उसे आता OTP आता रहता है, और ये रात के 12 बजे 1 बजे। अब बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो आपको चैलेंज के तौर पर कबूल करना है। मैंने बताया अभी 3000 इन्होंने टैबलेट बांटी हैं अभी DSW के ऑफिस के थ्रू, ही इज़ नोडल ऑफिसर ऑफ द टैबलेट एंड स्कॉलरशिप। तो अब नए कोर्सेज आए, जैसे नए कोर्सेज में बहुत सारे हमारे कोर्सेज उसमें है नहीं जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के हैं। लड़के आते हैं मेरे पास, MSc बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, मेडिकल साइंसेज, वहाँ नहीं है वो कोर्स। तो हमें नए चैलेंज के साथ इस नए उसमें आना है। तो मैं मुबारकबाद देता हूँ इस पूरी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम को। मैं अंग्रेज़ी में भी बोलता, मगर मुझे ये लगता है कि मैं अपनी मादरी ज़बान में जो एक जज्बाती, जो इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए मेरे कल से मैं देख रहा था, मैंने बताया कि न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के तहत मैं तो ताज्जुब होगा। एक मैं मिनिस्ट्री में मीटिंग में था, वहाँ पर HRD मिनिस्टर जावेडकर के साथ, जब मैं चेयरमैन था, एज ए सेक्रेटरी अलीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी को मैंने रिप्रेजेंट किया वहाँ पर त्रिवेंद्रम में, एनुअल कॉन्फ्रेंस थी। तो उन्होंने कहा कि कम से कम यहाँ जितने लोग बैठे हैं सारे वाइस चांसलर्स को बुलाया था, या वाइस चांसलर नॉमिनी, तो उन्होंने मुझे नॉमिनी बना के भेजा था। तो वहाँ ये हुआ कि सर अपनी अपनी उसमें मादरी ज़बान में सिग्नेचर करें, कम से कम अपनी, वो मादरी ज़बान में कह रहे थे। हम लोग तो अपनी शान समझते हैं कि अपने उर्दू में साइन करना या हिंदी में। उस दिन से मैंने तय किया, एज ए हिंदी टीचर, एज ए हिंदी स्टूडेंट, मैं हर जगह ऑफिशियल जितने भी हैं, मैं आलीम जो है अब्दुल अलीम, यहाँ तक कि वाइस चांसलर को भी ख़त लिखता हूँ तो अब्दुल अलीम, उसी के साथ मुझे कोई भी गुरेज नहीं है कि अपनी ज़बान पर, अपने सब्जेक्ट पर। मैंने बताया कि शायद मैं हिंदी में ना होता तो कोकराझार में गवर्नमेंट गेस्ट ना होता, है ना, क्योंकि हमने उस सब्जेक्ट में, और अलीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी का प्रोफेसर ना होता, है ना। एज ए हिंदी प्रोफेसर ऑफ अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी जो मुझे मिला भी वहाँ, वो एज ए अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी हिंदी प्रोफेसर की हैसियत से जो कुछ भी किया है हमने अपने सब्जेक्ट में। तो मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, चाहे जो भी जिस भी सब्जेक्ट में रहें, चाहे IT में रहें या जैसे हमारे खान साहब वाइल्ड लाइफ में, पूरे हिंदुस्तान में, पूरी कमेटियों में, तो क्या है कि अगर आप 2 लोगों ने पूरे डिपार्टमेंट को एक हाई रैंकिंग करा दी, जैसे आपको हाई रैंक में मिला है। अभी NIRF का मैं भी पीयर रिव्यू में हूँ, और इत्तेफाक से नेक कमेटी में भी हूँ। जितनी भी हैं हिंदुस्तान की जो कमेटियाँ हैं, और हिंदी का प्रोफेसर होने के नाते जो भी है उसमें हूँ। अभी NIRF का आया है, मुझे 28 तक 2 यूनिवर्सिटी का सबमिट करना है। तो हमें यही देखना है, हमने कहा नई चैलेंज के साथ पढ़ रहे हैं हम आजकल उनके उसको, कि नए चैलेंज के साथ वो यूनिवर्सिटी सर्वाइव कर पाएंगी जो आज हमें चैलेंज दिया है गवर्नमेंट ने 2020 का। तो इन्हीं उम्मीदों के साथ ये डिपार्टमेंट भी उस जो नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के साथ और नए सिनेरियो के साथ आगे बढ़ेगा, और 25 की जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है जैसे ये सक्सेस हुई है, और इससे भी अच्छी तरह से ये कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे, इन्हीं उम्मीद के साथ। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you so much for your valuable words, sir. Last but not the least, as we come to an end of our conference, I would like to invite Dr. Mohammad Sajid to deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected Chief Guest, Professor Abdul Alim Saab, respected guest of honor, Professor Afifullah Khan, and Professor Parvez Mahmood Khan, and our dynamic chairperson, Professor Asim Zafar Saab, and all dignitaries of the dais, and dear participants, Assalamu alaikum. I, Dr. Muhammad Sajid, feel honored and privileged for this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. On behalf of the organizing committee, I convey deep regards and heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sahab, Professor Tariq Mansoor Sahab, for his commitment to our department and for providing us with the resources and support required to make this conference a successful event. I also extend heartfelt gratitude to Patron and Dean Faculty of Science, Professor Muhammad Ashraf Sahab, for helping us obtain the necessary administrative approval to organize this event. I am also highly obliged to the convener and the chairperson of the department, Professor Asim Zafar Sahab, for his constant support and guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. Thank you, sir, for your outstanding leadership. I am also thankful to our chief guest, Professor Abdul Alim Sahab, Dean Students Welfare, guests of honors, Professor Afifullah Khan and Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan, for accepting our invitation and blessing us with their physical presence. My special thanks to General Chairs of the conference, Professor Muhammad Ubaidullah Bukhari and Professor Tamanna Siddiqui, for their guidance and support. I express my deepest gratitude to our distinguished keynote speakers, Professor Minoru Kuribayashi from Japan, Professor Ajit Abraham from Mead Labs, USA, Professor Abdul Qayyum Ansari from Jamia Millia Islami, Delhi, and Professor Yatinder Nath Singh from IIT Kanpur, Professor Muhammad Abulash from South Asian University, New Delhi, and industry experts Mr. Chand Muhammad and Mr. Akram Ahmed. I am thankful to our distinguished speaker for their valuable insights and expert opinions on the cutting-edge technological trends in the field of computational intelligence. I thank all the delegates and participants who blessed us with their physical or virtual presence in the conference. I am also thankful to all advisory and technical program committee members. Your unconditional support has been instrumental in making this event a platform for knowledge sharing and networking. My special thanks to reviewers for providing their expert comments on time and helping us in the rigorous review process. I am also thankful to our sponsors, USTM Meghalaya, ZMQ Development, AHA Technocrates, and MCA 2006 batch. I am also very thankful to our faculty colleagues and who constantly motivated us throughout this journey. Last but not least, I would also like to extend a special thanks to our organizing team, volunteers, and office staff members who have worked tirelessly behind the scene to ensure everything runs smoothly. Their hard work, dedication, and excellent coordination ended this conference a successful event. Finally, I would like to thank you all of you for your active participation and support. So to conclude, I would like to cite B.B. King here. The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. So this beautiful line perfectly captures what we have experienced here at ICECI 2023, and I believe it will stay with us forever. Once again, thank you all for your active participation and cooperation. Thank you.
Now, as per the tradition of our university, let's end our conference with the University Tarana followed by the National Anthem. For the National Anthem, I would request everyone to please stand proud and join us in showing respect to our National Anthem and our motherland.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
With this, ladies and gentlemen, this two-day conference comes to an end. Thank you for your presence and valuable time. We meet to part and part to meet again. So, we hope to see you again in the year 2025. Thank you, everyone.